Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth, and let's chat about the Dragon books by Dav Pilkey. And if you didn't know, he was the author of Captain Underpants. Yes, this is another book review, children's book review, but hey, I was very interested in reading this book because it's about dragons. All right, so he has 5 books in the series. The first one is called A Friend for a Dragon. The next one is Dragon's Fat Cat. The third one is Dragon Gets By. And then his 4th and 5th book are more holiday related. So Dragon's Halloween and Dragon's Christmas. So I haven't read those last 2 yet, but I will get around to it and I'll do a video on it. So we'll focus on the first 3 here. This is also bringing it way back because these books were published between 1991 and 1992. I will definitely leave the published years down in the descriptions below. All right, so the first book, A Dragon, or A Friend for a Dragon. This dragon, you just follow his life, and in this specific book here, he's just trying to find a friend because he feels lonely. So you read if he is successful at finding a friend or not. The first things that I kind of took from this when reading about this book is, one, the art of the books, because it feels or it looks like how a child would draw, and I love it. It fits the style of the story, so it just reminds me of like children drawing, and I love it. But as you read in the back of the book, you'll find out that it's Dave, the author, who actually learns to draw and learns to do watercolor for all of his books, dragon books. So I thought that was a nice little added detail in the back of the book there. Another thing I like about this book is in the back of the book, he also shows you how to draw the characters in the book, specifically the dragon. So I love little things like that when books have these gems you find in the back of the book, because you feel like you are rewarded. Like after you finish reading this book, what surprises are at the end. Some other things that I noticed about the book, I felt a little like Adam and Eve vibe going on, because the dragon comes across a tree with an apple, he talks to a snake, or you can also say like this is also drawing from like Snow White with the apple too. So that's kind of like the connection that I took from that. Not sure if that's what the author was going for, but it kind of just reminded me of like different stories that we've read in the past. So just love the positive message, in this book. In the end, spoiler alert, he does find a friend, and it was very cute how it happened. At first, I was like, wait a minute, should this be in a children's book? But then I get why that happened. And I'll just say that what that seed reminded me of is like a reverse giving tree. So if you are not aware of giving tree, this is the book I'm talking about. It's a reverse giving tree. So I will also talk about this book too, because this is one of my all-time favorites children's book. But okay, moving on to the second book, where Dragon's Fat Cat. So in this story, he comes across a cat and he learns to take care of it, and how he takes care of it is very funny because it is a huge learning curve for a dragon, which is very cute. So that there's also an underlying message there too. I forgot to mention all of these books, in the back of the book, in addition to like learning how to draw the characters, a little bit about the author, he also has these like questions he asks specifically to the book. And so that's a great way for you to like have conversations with your kids, like, hey, what is happening, or what happened in the book. So for example, like one of the questions in Dragon's Fat Cat was like, how to learn to take care of animals. So like questions like that. So I love that there was like discussion questions that make people or your kids think. So love that. I also like that in the second book, if you read the first book, you'll see it's a very subtle ad, but there's going to be a picture of the dragon's house, and you'll see the dragon's best friend there. So I love that. That was like a continuation to the second story. This is the adult in me because there was one scene in the book where the dragon has to buy cat food for the cat. And so in the store, the dog is talking to like a cat, or the dragon is talking to a cat like person. And because this is like an animal book, the animals are considered the humans of this book. So aside from like fruits and vegetables that they eat, if they are trying to find protein in this book or food, what's the protein? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But this is a children's book, so let's not go too far down that deep end. Last thing, we have Dragon Gets By. So this is the third book in his dragon book series here. In this one, it's just talking about sometimes we have off days, and so, you know, we're just out of it. So that's basically what this book is about. And how I would rate these three books in order of how I talked about it. So I really did like A Dragon for a Friend. That's like my all-time number one. Number two would be Dragon's Fat Cat. And then the third one would be Dragon Gets By. Rating of this book, 4 stars. All of them. Oh, no, sorry, not all of them. 4 stars for the first one, 3 stars for the second one, and then it's not 2 stars for The Dragon Gets By. They're all cute, but again, this is like how I would rate the books in the series. Okay, so favorite character, Avi. It's the dragon of the book because I'm so biased about dragons. So dragon was my favorite character in this book here. We'd love to hear from you. Did you like this book? Didn't you like this book? Who's your favorite character? Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Agree.